Hello, welcome back. We are now going to start to work on the outside of the album, but before we get there, I need to address the pullouts. When I cut the pullouts, I cut mine way too short. I wanted this to stop right here, but I'm not really willing to waste 2 sheets of cardstock. So if you're going to die cut, if you're going to punch, or if you don't do this but you want that pull out a little visible, you can put a tag, you can put an envelope. So I came in at, it needed to, with the cut, the final cut needed to be somewhere around 8 3/4. So if you go to 9, then by the time you do your punch or your die, you're going to lose some off the top. Then you can come in, seat this in, and if it's not seated right, then you can come in and trim off the back side. I got too aggressive, so mine are falling short, but it is what it is. So make 2, just put them in there for now. We will come and cover them a little bit later. So on the outside of the album, I am going to put some ribbon on. And I'm going to do that first before we cover. So go ahead and get 36 inches of ribbon, cut it in half. This is 9 inches, so go to make your tick mark for placement at 4.5 inches. But I always come off the edge a little bit because this ribbon is going to be pulled back as you open, and I don't want to see the stickiness of the tape. So I always pull it back just a little bit on both sides. So we'll do that. Now this piece here is one of the 12 by 12s. This is where I got it. It's this framework. If it will sit still. Anyway, it's in the middle. So I followed the white border. I came in with my ruler and I measured in about 8 7/8, 8 3/4. It looks like actually 8 3/4, all the way around, and that's where I made my trim. You want it to be a bit short because you don't want to put it, or I don't want to put it even top, bottom, and then on the sides. But I do want the paper and the cardstock that I use to wrap to kind of be separated a little bit. So I'm coming in with this nice brownish, light brown, golden colored paper. It blends beautifully with this, but when you put it against the red, it really creates, it pops. Now, this particular color I got from Cardstock Warehouse. It's in their color plan selection, and it's called Harvest. So if you want to try to find this particular piece is 100-pound cardstock. I don't think you can get it any lighter. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to be bending this because it's going to get framed in about 1/16 thereabouts off your edges, and then this pattern paper is going to sit on top of it. But like I said, when you get this framed in and you look at it like this, it doesn't really do much. But when you come down here against the red, you can see that these now really pop and they separate out the layers. So that's what I'm doing. Now, on the front, I am using some Prima flowers, but I've got a link down below to Scrap and Create. These are what I had in my stash, but she has got a far better selection of poinsettia flowers. They're from Little Birdie, so look in the description. They'll be listed there. And if you're curious about anything that is used in this build, the links will be down below. If there is no link, give me a buzz. Otherwise, I'll do my best to make sure that everything is listed below in the description field. So check there first before you send me a message. So then I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. Now, fussy cutting. You're going to do quite a bit of it. So in this very large sheet of items to fussy cut. Get your cup of tea, get your coffee, get your water, sit down and get to fussy cutting. You're going to fussy cut out this little doll, and she is going to hide back here amongst the floral. And then you're going to fussy cut out the suitcase that says toys. That's going to come down here. You're going to fussy cut out the rocking horse. And it's going to come down here just enough so you can still see the stirrup. You're going to fussy cut out the bear. It's going to come in behind the rocking horse just enough so you can see the bear. You're going to fussy cut out the train, and it's going to sit here. And then there's a cute little elephant on wheels. It's going to come in and sit here. This will all place better when I can glue things down and not have them move around. Then you're going to fussy cut out this cute little clown, and it's going to come and stand right back behind there. Then I am taking some red bling and I am going to frame all the way around. That'll be kind of one of the first things that I do, but I'm going to frame all the way around this. So that's what we're going to do to put the front together. Now, the spine, I've chosen to use the green musical sheet for the back. I have some glittery ribbon. I'm going to put it right about there. This beautiful card. I just really love this. I'd love to have an easel of this in a big form that I could sit in my living room, but I added some red droplets there. It's going to sit here in the back. The spine is a continuation of the cut that I cut off of here, and I'm going to run some of that same ribbon down the spine, and then I'm going to center this drummer boy right in the middle of the spine. And again, I'm using this Harvest colored cardstock to wrap everything. So I'm going to set those aside, and the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get this down. I'm going to get the ribbons down. I'm going to put this down on all three pieces. So I guess I better grab them. And then we'll start adding the pattern paper next. So first things first is going to be the ribbon. And I'm just going to come in here about 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to take, where'd the tape go? And I'm going to take some tape. I'm going to come way off about 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to add some security measures here so that that tape is on there really nice. And then another strip. And then 2 more. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and get the tape on this. Okay, so if this is going to go this way, I'm going to add a strip here on this end because I'm going to have the 2 tape strips from where the ribbon is. Now I want to get off. Okay, so I'm going to come in here on this end because I know what it is I want to see for border. And very carefully lay it down. And then I will burnish that tape so it doesn't move now, hopefully. Now, this cardstock is going to have some creases in it, but it doesn't matter because it's getting covered up. All right, now, this piece. And it's going to sit just like so. And before I do anything else, I'm going to run the bead of red bling around the perimeter before I start adding everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my tape. Oh, isn't that lovely? I didn't turn this over to see what was on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to center this, get it where I want it to be. I'm going to hold that down. I don't want it moving on me until I get this down, and then I can pull. I could have done this first, but it's so much easier sometimes for me just to take my hand and hold it firm so it stays in place. And then pull the center tape out. Come on. Okay. Now I'm not going to add any bling to these two pieces. It's irrelevant. It's the front of the album that I want to accent. So let's put the back and the spine piece in. Let's get those done because once we move to the front, I don't want to be flipping it around any more than necessary once we get all the elements on it. Same thing, I'm going to look at my edge over here, my top and my bottom edges, and then I'll rub for that tape, and then I'll sneak in here and pull these two out. Okay. And I made notes of what I measured this cardstock, and for each piece it was just shy of 9 inches. You know, when you build an album, by the time you get done wrapping, that extra layer of cardstock, your dimensions increase by a fraction of an inch. So the album actually becomes a little bit larger than 9 by 9. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get this piece on. Do I need to do any trimming? No. Okay, so and that's so sweet. I really like the feel of this paper, and I really, really enjoy the tones. They're not bright tones. They're muted a little bit. I guess you call it a matte. I would call it a matte type finish. I just think it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to situate this, and I'm going to repeat this. It was a lot easier. Now I can go in and pull this. Saw some images in this when I was scouring through the paper. There's some beautiful images, and I am going to love playing with them. Okay, let's put this on. I want to go from the edge of the tan to the edge of the tan, or as close to it as I can get. Okay. And I don't want that moving around too much, so I'm going to use 1/2 inch tape on the back, and then I'm going to run just a slight bead of glue on the back side as I put it down. I always move things around on my workstation here, and I can't find anything. All right. This sometimes helps me, not always, but sometimes helps me to position this before commitment. And then this piece will sit right here like so. Just offset it off the bottom a little bit. Roughly try and center it a little bit. Okay, so the back is done. I am going to glue the spine piece on. I don't need to use tape. It's not a very big piece. glitter everywhere. Oh, such the fun of crafting. I'll have it on my face before this build is over. And I know someone's going to ask me, where did I get this ribbon? The honest answer, I don't remember. I just found it, I loved it, so let me just at least tell you. It may have been at Joann's because this is typically one of their brands. Offray. You could also go to offray.com and see if you can find it. It's 5/8 of an inch. There's 9 feet to it, but it's not telling me a name or anything. But this is, you can see what it looks like. So if you're interested in it, you can try and locate it. Right, and then the drummer boy, I'll just glue that right over. And I'm going to put some extra glue here down the center because of the glitter. I just want to try and center him a little bit. I might not be dead center, but it will work. Okay, I've got to hold the glue down a little bit as it's not setting very fast. This ribbon creates a little bit of a bump. So I need to make sure that it gets burnished good. All right. Let us work here. All right, so I have a choice. I can use glue or I can use tape to put these down. I am happy with both, but I think I'm going to use glue because it's a lot of tape and I have a lot of glue. Oh, and someone asked where I get my bling. It comes in this big roll and I get it at Amazon, and they have this company, I don't remember the name, has a ton of this in different colors, but you get 2 of these rolls. So it's going to last you're probably the rest of your craft life. So if you've got a friend or know of somebody who will split it with you, I think that probably 1 roll will be enough, unless you use it on a lot of other stuff. Okay, next one. This is the tedious part of putting an album together, is all this fine work. Okay, come off my finger, come back down here. And I'm going to have to cut one off on this end, but that's okay because I save them to use either on this project or on another project. All right, so now I'm going to turn this toward me a little bit so I can get this side. This is going to be one sparkly album. So I'm going to start down here and then lay it. And then I can cut this piece off. All right, the last piece. That looked pretty already. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just snip off one right now. I may have to snip off two, but we'll see. I do have to snip off two. Okay, so that is done. So what I want to do is start building with the fussy cut, the flowers, the little doll, all this good stuff. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the berries and the leaves. I'm cutting that off. I don't need to be messing around with that stem hanging around there and it's poking up through everything. Okay, and then this is going to go like this. Now, I use hot glue, I use glue, but this time I am going to use some tape because I don't want these things moving around and it's going to hide anyway. Because we're going to be putting some flowers down here. So I'm taping these in place. My solution. Now I want a red one, two white ones, and then I'm going to put this little guy down here in the corner underneath, and then this one up here because the little doll is going to come and she's going to stand right there. So that's kind of how I'm doing my floral arrangement. So let's take this off. And let's goober this up really well. Lots and lots of glue, lots and lots of glue. Now I'm going to put this in real quick because it will tuck up underneath here. I use lots of glue. And we'll use this one down here. Smush them together a little bit so it pushes up a little bit of height. She's going to sit right here, and I want this one tucked in. Right here. Well, come on, get in there. There we go. And then I want her right there, peeking out of the flowers. Wow, she almost stuck in place. Okay, now to fix the placement here. My intent was to put the suitcase on the bottom that says toys, the little elephant just to the left, the train here. Now this tells me I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit, okay? And then I want the rocking horse to come behind the toys, just down enough where the stirrup shows. Ta-da, I said it. And then the bear. And then this cute guy. Now he can kind of move over here. He can go just about any place you want him. So by doing it this way, it's telling me which pieces I need to glue down first. So I'm going to pick these up. I've got to glue down the little clown, the rocking horse, the clown, the bear, the rocking horse, then this. Okay. Here's the clown. Here's the bear. I really hope I place this piece in correctly. Okay, now this. Here's the train. And then we have the little elephant. There you have it. This is done. If you wanted to add some other sparkles and other bling, okay, that's already glued. Maybe I can move it a little bit. There we go. Straighten those out a little bit. Okay. And then we have the spine. And then we have the back. So I think we've accomplished quite a bit with this, so we will come back and we'll start with the build on the inside left panel. So until then, bye-bye.